Okay, hello everyone. I am Michelle, one of the owners of Hutton Fitness and Elite Coaching, and I'm an IFBB Bikini Pro. Been in the industry forever, for over 25 years. So I thought I would bring my assistant in on this. Her name is Amy, and we're going to talk a little bit today about how this industry has evolved and changed. So a little bit about the 25 years ago when we both started, ironically, we actually competed our very first show together and we had no idea. So I'll let Amy kind of tell you about her first show experience as a competitor that we both realized later in our lives that we competed together.
Not until our kids that we realized that. Correct. So this was a fitness competition years ago where you came out and actually did a routine. And so you had to put together a routine and wearing a fitness outfit.
Interesting.
And then you would come out one at a time, and then all the girls came back out in swimsuits, and then you did kind of just walked around. You did a pose.
No.
And that was really it. It was the fitness part, was really a routine to show strength and fitness, and then the bikini part was so they could see your physique.
Right.
And that was really it.
Right. So what made you want to do this? Okay, how old were you?
Oh my gosh. I was probably 28.
I think I was like 23, 24.
I was probably the same age.
Yeah,
so
you were 23. Yeah, I'm age.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so before I had kids.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you even realize what this was and what? Give me a little background about you.
Yes. So I did not have a coach, which very first mistake, and I didn't know anything about it.
I don't think there were coaches back then.
No. Yeah, I don't think so. So I had seen it somewhere and thought, oh, I can do this. I have a dance cheer background. And had worked out a lot, so I saw it, and I remember I had to send a picture in.
Oh, okay.
And I took a picture in front of some random mall in a swimsuit and sent it in, and that's how I got into the competition.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, it's evolved a little bit since then. So Amy, your background was gymnastics. So explain a little bit about your routine, because you guys, I find this entertaining because, again, I did the same thing. I was not the gymnast she was. I wouldn't consider myself a gymnast. I was flexible, so I would do the flexy things. Amy could do a lot more advanced type of things. So describe what that was like.
Oh my goodness. So I did like a standing back tuck, and I did some one-arm push-ups.
Oh yes, that was a thing. You were cool if you did that.
Yes, so I felt very good about that. I don't really remember the rest of the routine. I just remember I started it with the standing back tuck, and I ended it with the one-arm push-ups.
Can I might say I think she won the show? Yes, she beat me because I did not do that. Okay, for the record. So you evolved, so you did that, and that was your first and only show.
Yes.
At that time.
It was one and done, and I've never done anything since. So 25, 28 years later.
So fast forward. So now we're to where we're currently at. So let me give you a little bit of background on how that has evolved. So that's where we all started. That's where the industry started. There really wasn't a thing to be coached. There wasn't really coaches really back then doing it. I remember seeing something on, I think it was on ESPN. I was watching one day and I was like, oh, I think I can. That was fun. I think I maybe could do that. So that's where my brain went. And then I started searching for shows, and that's how the one that we actually ended up doing together, we ended up there. But so that's where all of that started. And then I did a couple other random shows. There was one show, true story, that I did. My first it was fitness. I was the only female backstage.
Oh my goodness.
Only female.
Yeah.
I had on I didn't know what I was doing. Back, we used to did you ever put Pam spray on yourself?
I did not.
Oh, I did. Oh yes, I did, you guys, true story, I'm backstage, and I would have a can of Pam spray, and I'm spraying my body. I walk out, my sister's like, what did you just do? She's like, you literally look like a grease pig. What are you doing? I don't know, I'm just putting this on. Anyway, so we became since then. Okay, so fast forward into what happened after that. I did routines that, it was hard on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you felt it at your age.
Yeah.
Like, I was struggling with injuries. I was struggling with, because I had to go back into taking gymnastics lessons.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you do that? Maybe you were too good to do that. I was not good at gymnastics lessons.
That's great though. That's good. I mean, it forces you, regardless of whether it was back then or the way it is now, it kind of forces you to better yourself, which I love.
Right. That's the goal. Again, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
It was after college, and I was like, I was kind of bored. I needed something to achieve.
Yes.
A goal to have, so that's kind of where I was with it. I think most people feel that way when they go through this process. So after fitness was a thing, the NPC and the IFBB are really good at reinventing what people need.
Yes.
Okay, so we fast forward 3 or 4 years after that, after I was like, okay, I can't do this fitness thing anymore. Then Figure came out, and Figure was, remind me, we had 2 pieces on, right? When we had that first show? So Figure came out, and they were doing 1 pieces and 2-piece routines. So you would come out in 1 piece, and you would come out in a 2-piece, and you would actually pose, but there was no fitness. Mm-hmm. There was no one-arm push-ups, there was no back flips, there was none of the extra stuff that they do that they've had done in fitness. So that was like 4 or 5 years later. Don't quote me on these timelines, I'm going off of memory, and that could be a smidge wrong, plus or minus a couple years. And then Figure came out, but Figure was very broad shoulders, broad lats, tiny waist, tiny legs. Okay, I'm not a big person, so that was a struggle. I was competitive, but not, where it was. So then I was at a national level there, went on to be pretty competitive at a national level. Like a year after that, maybe 4 or 5 years after that, after I was like, I just don't know if I can hang with that. Bikini came out. That was back in I got my program in 2011. So Bikini came out 3 or 4 years after that. And my sister and I was like, this is it. This is the thing, right? It was sassy on stage, fun. When Bikini first came out, 10, 12 years ago, mm-hmm. It looks like the new Fit model, which we'll get to here in a second. It looks like the new Fit model, so it wasn't near as big. It was, they wanted you to have off-the-rack suits. Oh my gosh, you guys, my first ever suit was the most, it was tie-dyed. Whoever thought a tie-dyed suit was a thing, but I thought it was a thing. It was a thing. And I even crisscrossed the neckline. It was just special, very special. Anyways, I'm not even sure what that suit is. I'm scared to see a picture of that. So it was very softer is a relative term in our industry, right? It was one of those type of things that came out, and you were more feminine, very posing was very much like they were into all the hair and the glam and the femininity that came with it. And then about 3 years into it, I got my pro card the first year it came out. Maybe the second year, 2011, whatever that was. And it was very achievable. And then a couple years after that, it got pretty muscular. The glutes got bigger, the legs got bigger, the shoulders got bigger. Amy has amazing shoulders. My shoulders were never like the shoulders that they were looking for. So I was like, I can't compete. And honestly, a lot of the girls that I was training it just wasn't achievable for the average person, right? We're average people, right? And so then come to 2025, and we now have yet another new division called Fit Model. Mm-hmm. So Fit Model has been, I feel like, again, back to that old school bikini where girls are more feminine. So tell me about your experience in Fit Model, because Amy was one of the first people to reach out to me back in January. And she's like, Michelle, call me crazy, but I think I want to do this. I said, no, you're not crazy at all. So January is when we started talking, last January 2025.
Yes. So I've been at it, I guess, 10 months now.
Yes.
And it's completely a whim. I saw your post And really for me personally, I had been not happy with my body. I had always kind of stayed in shape, but I wasn't happy with what my lower body looked like, and so it was just a perfect opportunity for me to have a goal, and I felt like this would be something that would be achievable. So fit model for me, it was definitely different workouts than I ever thought I would do, but I felt it was very achievable because they were not looking for super muscular, they're not looking for big hard definition, which in my mind I didn't want that body type, right? So this fit model is really about being toned and tight, balanced, well conditioned, and that's the type of body I aspired to have. So that's what drew me to the fit model specifically, and it's been a whirlwind. 4 shows in 1 year, I think 4 shows in 1 year. And it was a great experience. The women in the Fit Model are very supportive. It's been a great community. I've met so many women all across the Midwest, and it's been a really good experience.
Right. Yeah. Well, another big thing that they changed, and I actually kind of get this question, or the suits are probably another huge difference.
Yeah.
So specifically the glute coverage. Mm-hmm. So they're very...
Yes. So I will talk so when I first inquired about this with you, my big thing was I don't want to wear a thong. I'm 50 years old and nobody wants to see that. And so I love the 50% coverage of the glutes. It is it's really not much different than what you would wear at a swimming pool, right? It's like a kind of a scrunch in the middle, which that was the style for a while, right? For your bottoms, and a more modest coverage in the front. So I felt more comfortable stepping onto a stage in a swimsuit, wearing a bottom that was not overly revealing.
Right, which again, I have multiple women doing it because there's more coverage to the bottom, which again, I mean, you get to a certain age and you just don't want to go into the most revealing suit that you can possibly have on, because bikini is it's very skimpy type of cut. Also, the suits that's another huge difference between fit model. I get a lot of questions, what's the biggest difference between fit model and bikini? And suits are high up there. The posing's very different, but the suits, there's right now, again, we are in 2025, remind everyone, this might change for 2026, but right now they want no bling. They want it to be more of a solid pattern. I don't know if that's required, but I recommend a solid pattern. So no bling and 50% coverage on the back, which is the biggest. And the cost is very, very significant. A fit model suit is very a lot less expensive than like bikini suits, because bikini suits has all the crystals and stuff on it. So that's the biggest difference between those two. The posing, which she's the queen of posing because of her dance background and all the fun stuff. She ex-chief's cheerleader, all the things. So the posing, talk about like your posing and what you've seen, how you've changed your posing from the start to now. So talk about that a little bit. Yeah, what I realized is you can have the best physique, but if your posing is not right, you're not reflecting your physique in the best way. So mine changed a ton, from the front pose specifically, in terms of where my foot placement, and also less is more when it comes to posing. So as I learned, especially in the last couple of shows, you don't want to do too many movements. You don't want to be up there too long, because the longer you're on stage, the more the judges have to pick you apart. So you want to go out there, show them the pose, posing correctly so that you can see the trim waist and you can see the tight glutes and the shoulder taper. So you want to show that, but you don't want to be up there too long and moving around to where things move and shake. The longer you're on stage, the more the judges have to find flaws. Always remember, these are 2 tips that when I've done over 40 shows, so I've learned a few things of what not to do and what to do. But if the judges can see your eyeballs, you're being judged. So if you're on the side of stage, within the first 2 seconds, okay, 2 seconds, the judges want to know whether or not they want to see you again.
Yes.
So these judges are so good at what they do. They see so many. They know if your conditioning, if your leanness, your toning is correct, front to toe, or head to toe, front to back. The symmetry is there. Something doesn't stand out. True story. I did I was a bikini competitor. I was a pro in bikini, and I had done this pro show. I think I told you the story. And I'd been training so hard, and I'd been training my legs really hard, and I got dead last. And I was like, something wasn't right. Yeah, sure enough, the judge was like, your legs were way too much for the rest of your body. Symmetry. So the minute they saw me, my legs were way too much for the rest of my body. So my legs can lean out kind of random like that. Lean out before my upper body does. So just be careful of those kind of things. That's what's so great about. I feel like Fit Model is more achievable for the average person versus you don't have to go so hardcore. You can live a life and still look the way you do. That's another thing that I feel like is a big misconception of women this day and age. Trust me when I tell you, you do not have to go through a bulking phase to still be and get improvements on your off season and get you where you need to be. There's a specific way you can do that. Did you have a thought, Amy?
Yeah, well, I think that I think you don't have to go through a bulking phase,
right.
And I think that the type of work, you don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to. I actually ate more than I had ever eaten while I was working out and going through prep because I was eating the right foods. I thought I was healthy, but I didn't know what I didn't know when it comes to the chemistry and the macros and how it affects your body and then how that affects your cortisol levels, everything, the hormonal piece of it. But to me, when you talk about food, people would, the first thing they'd ask me is, aren't you starving all the time? And I would say, no, I'm eating the right foods, which means I have to eat more than what I was accustomed to because I'm not eating the sugary stuff, I'm not eating processed food.
Right.
So I think the misconception also is that you have to starve yourself, and that's not the case.
No, so like Amy was saying, like you don't have to, if your program is right, you shouldn't have to be starving or you're gonna eat your right arm off. I have been through training like that and it's awful. I don't like it. Another thing I remember, Amy was like, but Michelle, I work out ready. Oh, by the way, she looked great before she started. We just got her to look better, right? Like you looked great, but you now, when you started competing, your physique was just more shapely, had more shape to it, had more tone to it. But she was like, well, I already trained my legs. I'm like, oh yeah, you haven't trained your legs the way I trained your legs, so just wait. So I always tease like, you train like a girl, and I know that sounds funny, but you don't train. There's specific ways a female should train their legs. And it is very specific, like what works for Amy won't work for the next person, that's another thing. But I feel like as competitors, we've gotten smarter through this process. You no longer spray and spray on yourself.
Yes.
Beautiful. That would be better. So there's ways you train and how it's evolved over the years to really become this, something that anyone can achieve, that it's great for anyone to do, because it doesn't have to be the most miserable. It should be the most amazing thing you do.
Yes, I agree. And I think it's intimidating at first, right? Your first show,
right.
You're nervous, you don't know, you don't know what you don't know, right? And you come into it, but like I said before, the women are so amazingly supportive. The backstage, it was the atmosphere it's very fun, it's very upbeat. And I would say, to go back to posing real quickly, the other piece is it's the total package. It is your posing and it is what your physique looks like, but it's your presentation, it's your stage presence. You have to have a personality. You have to look at the judges, and they need to see that you are happy to be there. And the worst thing you can do is not smile when you get on stage. Right. That's hard if you're nervous, right? So I think it does end up being the total package. It is your physique, it is your suit, it is how you're posing, but it's also the intangibles of your hair, your makeup, and your presentation. Your presentation's huge on stage.
Right. Oh yeah, no, it's really, they've also done a good job of that. Like if you gotta have the whole package like Amy said, but it's doable, it's achievable, it's like we put everything together for you. Like that's what I love all the extra stuff. There's some coaches that don't. I absolutely adore all the extra stuff. Like picking out the suit color. Like we got Amy's suit color and we're not changing it. I told her that 3 times. Maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 10. But never changed. We're not changing. Because she's having so much success that these judges get to know like your suit color. Those are kind of things like that you have to realize when you're going through this process. But again, the hair, the makeup, all the things for this show makes it fun. And I will say, back to the point of having fun and being supported backstage. I haven't been to shows, you guys, for probably 6 years, more than that, 7 years. So my first show was May of last year, helping girls, and I was so impressed with how professional it felt, how it was so well ran, so supportive, so much fun backstage. I mean, everyone was helping everyone. And so I think that's a big misconception. I think a lot of people have. I mean, Amy has a dance party going backstage where she's back.
I do, yes. I love the music.
So she's dancing, she's hyping up everyone. But like I was backstage with all of you guys this last time, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're out there, so my next thing, Amy, what advice do you have to anyone that's ever thought about this?
Yeah. So my advice would be, I would say number 1, do it. It's been the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. And it's not overly time consuming. It's not like I'm working out 2 hours a day.
Right.
The workouts are very doable. It's 30, 45 minutes, which I'm going to do that anyway.
Right.
But I think that what you do is you look at it's your best reflection of you. So to me, it's when I went to the show, it wasn't me comparing myself to everyone else. It was, I want to bring the best package of me that I can, and that allows me, if I'm comfortable and I'm confident in what I've done leading up to the show day is a blast, because you can't control what the judges see.
Right.
And at that point, you put in the work, everybody's put in the work, and they're just looking at, it's really not a comparison, it's you versus the ideal fit model.
Right.
So if you look at it in that way, it's not an overly cutthroat competitive environment at all.
No.
It's extremely very supportive, it's a great community. I'm part of a couple of groups of women that we've all met through this process this last year. And it's just an amazing way to set a goal for yourself and achieve it. And stepping on the stage is really a small portion of what you're going through. Really, it is being able to feel the best version of you. And to me, that's what, because I ebbed and flowed this last year. My second show was not good. It was bad. My first show was great. I had great success. My second show, I went in way too lean. I didn't listen to my coach.
We learned.
And
we learned.
I went in way too lean, and I didn't place well, and I was super discouraged by it. But you encouraged me.
Yes.
It's like, no, we can fix this. This is an easy problem.
Easy problem.
And so I just would encourage you to look at it as a great goal and a way for you to become the best version of you. And everyone is different. Every body type is different. I hold my body fat in my lower body, so my workouts have to adjust for that. And every woman's body is different. That's also why I like all the different categories they have, because women are built differently. And so I feel like this fit model is a great way for you to dip your toe into the water in this bodybuilding world.
Right. So if you are out there and you're ever thought about competing, there are other divisions too. To Amy's point, there's the wellness. I trained a couple girls to do wellness, and it's just a different physique. But all categories are achievable. All categories are doable. Again, I think we've smartened up a lot. In fact, I know we have. I hope we have. We're not 51. I'll say our age. I don't care.
Yeah.
We're not 51 and haven't gotten a little smarter. More. We've learned. You learn through that process. So it is achievable. It is doable, and we're here to help you every step of the way. So if you need more information, head to twinfitness.com and we can help you out. Thank you.